Hello, my name is Elizabeth, and I am a pagan druid witch, and I have been guided to start a YouTube channel. I've been watching a lot of YouTube pagan channels and YouTube pagan challenge for quite a while now, and my inner guidance just keeps telling me you need to start one to share your experiences with anybody out there who might be in the same boat I am or has been in the same boat that I'm in. 40 years old, live in rural South United States, in a very red area, a very Christian area. And perhaps in sharing my story, I can give strength and courage to anyone else who might be living in the same place, kind of area, or maybe just starting out on their path. I'm not really sure exactly what direction I'm going to take this. At this point, I'm going to go with the flow and see what the goddess and the god want me to do. But a little bit about myself. Like I said, I live in Tennessee, Middle Tennessee area to be exact, pretty close to Nashville. And I've lived here most of my life. Also lived in the mountains of North Carolina shortly for a couple of years. And I was also born there. But I've lived in the Middle Tennessee area for most of my life. And as many of you know, the South is not known for its open minded attitudes toward people that are different. So it's been kind of, an interesting story or path to come to the place where I am now. I'm not completely out as a pagan. I am out with most of my family, and I'm also very active in a group here in town. But as far as work goes, and then some of my extended family are not aware. However, I feel that it's time for me to step forward and take my story and my experience and become a part of the YouTube pagan community. So here I am. This is me. I guess I've technically been practicing for about 3 years, technically. However, I've been interested in the metaphysical, pagan magic, witchcraft, wizardry since I was a teenager. There was one metaphysical shop in town in the 90s, early 90s, which is when I was in high school, that I would frequent and read books, just kind of take in the atmosphere. Kind of went back to Christian. I started out Christian in my life, in this lifetime anyway, and was part of my family was in the Quaker Church when I was very young, and then switched to Methodism. My mother was Methodist growing up, and my father was Catholic, so that's kind of an interesting mix. And then we threw Quaker into the mix as well. So we've got all that thrown in there, and a healthy dose of being a tomboy and someone who loves animals and being outside. I never quite fit in with the Christian belief system, though I did for a time in college try. I really thought that's where my heart was being led, but after maybe about 6 months to a year of really trying to be a part of that community, I realized that that was not my place. So I kind of drifted for a while, did some metaphysical studies. I'm actually an energy healer and also an intuitive reader and a channel. So I took a few years, learned healing techniques, worked on my own shadow work, inner self, self confidence, and then stepped back into paganism about 3 years ago. And well, maybe 4 years ago. So I've now come to the point where, in addition to my pagan studies over the past few years, I also feel I have some life experience to share. And I'm hoping that that's what this channel will do, is share my experiences, assist people, maybe even be a guide for people who are similar to me or not similar to me. Maybe I'll just be another voice out there in the pagan community on YouTube. I'm willing to go wherever the divine will take me. I'm also a flame tender for the goddess Brigid. She is my, I guess what you would consider a matron. And I have a very close relationship with her. I have not officially dedicated to her as of yet, but I am going to be doing that soon because Imbolc is in about 2 weeks. And that's my plan for this year, is to officially dedicate to her. I've also just joined OBOD, the Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids, and I'm also planning on starting my coursework for the Bardic grade at Imbolc this year. So I do have a few things in the works as far as my own personal growth, and I'm hoping that this channel will also be a journey down that path as well, down the Bardic coursework path with OBOD, so I can share my experience with that, and maybe anybody who might be interested can see that as well and see where it's going. Aside from all of that, I, have a regular job. I have a husband who is wonderful. We've been married for almost 2 years, and we've been together for about 5. We have a number of pets. We have 3 dogs, 3 cats, and a horse, and some fish. I've always been an animal lover. I probably speak to them more than I realize, but I'm not technically an animal communicator. However, I'm pretty good at getting them to understand what I'm saying, and I usually can understand what they're saying. I've always been around animals. I even worked as a time when I was younger and thinner as a horse trainer and riding instructor. So I do have a lot of experience with animals and the natural world, being outside. When I was a child, that was my favorite thing, was to be outside with the animals, and there goes one of the cats. I'm actually in a room that they can't be in, and they don't like that. So, but anyway, I just wanted to welcome everyone to my channel. I'm looking forward to doing more and putting more out there and letting you all into my world a little bit, hopefully, and getting to know you all and being a part of the great pagan community on YouTube. So thank you and many blessings.